Professor Ronke, you can start with technological disruption and the future of work. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Aderonke Tosin Amos, and I am calling in from California, USA. The title of my paper is Technological Disruption and the Future of Work. I'll be very fast with this. Yeah, I'm not going to bore us with this paper. So the first thing we want to understand is what is technological disruption. We are all aware, we are familiar with what technology is, but what is disruption and why do we have to bother ourselves with what technological disruption is? So in a quick summary, technological disruption has to do with a new introduction of technology. When you introduce a new technology, basically it's more like introducing something entirely new to the system, to an existing pattern. And by that, it brings in new changes. It brings in new changes that affect both the customers, the business, the industry operations, even the entire human life. It creates a new market. Yes, we know that, but it has a way of affecting everything that has been in existence. So that is what technological disruption is all about. And I would also like to also say that aside that being aside the creation of major changes in different aspects of life, technological disruption also creates job, it creates opportunity, it creates awareness of how skilled you are and the level you are right now in your skill level and the level you should be in your skill level. So the next thing I want to talk about is digital resolution. In US as we speak right now, 50% of US jobs are automatable. That is, they don't even need labor. They don't need labor. Machines can carry out the jobs, and that is why a lot of layoff is happening here and there. You hear people complain about being laid off out of job, and people even are trying. A lot of people, despite the level of their career, they're still finding it very challenging to get a job, and that is because machines have been used to replace human labor, and I'm sure this is also the same thing everywhere as we pick. And as a result of this, labor will continue to drop, and at some point, if care is not taken, labor will become unnecessary. Even in the labor market, it's going to be unnecessary, and somehow I hope it doesn't turn from being a labor market to a machine market eventually, because of what we are seeing right now. Even the introduction of AI here and there, you probably do nothing a day without involving technology, without the use of technology. That is what it is right now, and that is what it's been, and that is what it's going to be for a while. So there is a need for everyone to increase their skills. When it comes to labor skill, there is a need to upskill, and there's a need sometimes to even reskill. So you might be in the right pattern, but at the same time, you just need to add more skill just to remain in business, to remain, to still get your job, to hold on to your job. Otherwise, machine is going to take your job from you. And the next thing I'm going to talk about very quickly is what is the effect of labor market? What is the effect of technical disruption on the labor market? What is the effect? Why are we concerned about technical disruption? There are so many effects of this technical disruption in the labor market, like I have mentioned a few, and I'm going to be grouping this into 4, and that is the displacement effect, we have the productivity effect, we have the adaptive effect, and we also have the reinstatement effect. And don't get me wrong, as much as we have so many negative effects of technology, we still have a lot of positive effects. A good example is the introduction of wheel. Yes, back decades ago, our forefathers used to ride on horses and camel and the rest of that. But now we have wheels. The journey that is supposed to take you 100 miles with wheels, you can be there in the next 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on, how fast you move. The introduction of cell phone is another thing. The introduction of lights is another thing. So they also have their good part. Technology introduction has its own good part, and at the same time, it has its challenging parts too. So now, what are the effects of technological advancement? What are the effects of this technology in the labor market? Don't forget myself and you are actually in the labor market, and one of the reasons why we enter into this labor market is for survival. We need to survive. So what now happens to us if machine, automations, and all of this are taking our job away from us? How do we survive? That is the question, and that is why we are so concerned about this. That is why we are talking about this topic right now, and that is why this topic borders every country right now. The whole world is bordered about the introduction and the growth and the evolvement of technology. Number one is the displacement effect. When technology is introduced newly, number one thing it does is to take your job away from you. Because of course, even your employers, they want to maximize profit. They want to minimize cost. So if a machine can do the job of 10 people, what do you expect? They take it away from you and replace the machine. They replace you with a machine. That is the number one effect. Technology is replacing labor, it's replacing human. Machines are doing the job of human. And if care is not taken, there won't be anything called labor market again. Like I said, it's going to be called a machine market. And the next thing is productivity effect. Like I said earlier on, despite the fact that there are a number of negative effects introduced by the introduction, by the involvement of technology, we still have a number of positive effects on us, even in the whole economy, in the whole world. And that is what we call the productivity effect. Productivity effect, it's increased productivity. It's less expensive because by the time a single machine can do the job of 10 people, 20 people, then it's less, it's less expensive. It's less expensive. Sorry for my mistake. So it's less expensive. It increases productivity, and as a result of that, there might be, and there will eventually be, a fall in price and an increase in demand. Because when we have surplus, then there's going to be an increase in demand. And at the same time, it's going to lead to economic expansion. And another thing, eventually, that could actually come up from that is there might be an increase in labor need. Because when there is increase in productivity, at some point or the other, labor tax will need to come in. And that at that point, there might still be a need for labor. That is one of the productivity effects. Another effect of technology advancements is adoption effects. When there is this, in summary, what I mean by adoption effect is there might be a need, there is always a need for tangible and intangible capital. So as a result of that, you have to they still need to embrace labor, because there will be a need there's going to be an increase in the need for labor-intensive knowledge-based tax, like I said earlier on. And the last one is the reinstatement effect. New tax will definitely come up. New tax comes up when you introduce a new machine. New tax come up. Unlike the displacement, this one is like this is contrary to the displacement effect. So this one is the reinstatement effect, which open up new opportunity. It open up new tax. But how do you feel in as airman if you are not upskilled? If you don't reskill yourself, if you don't have more knowledge? And that is why there is no end to reading. There is no end to knowledge. We have to encourage ourselves as people in the market, as how do I call it now, as entrepreneurs or whatever name we want to call ourselves, to keep learning, to keep gaining knowledge, because like the first speaker said, it's a competitive world. It's a competitive world, and it is only the best, particularly in this era of machine, that will be picked. The next thing I want to talk on very quickly is the economic and the social impacts. What are the economic impacts of technological disruption, and what are the social impacts? So I'm going to start with the economic impact. Number one is job loss and income inequality. Definitely, we all know that the machine has been taking a lot of people, a lot of people complain. You go on LinkedIn, you see people complain they're out of job. Look at what the best example I can give now is oh my god, I just forgot this now. Twitter. Look at the number of people laid
Yes.
off. Look at Amazon. A lot of people are, every now and then they keep laying people off and replacing them. They replace them with machine. They replace them with other people that are upskilled, not necessarily machine this time around. Some upskilled people, like they believe that, oh, this person is even more upskilled than this person. So if one person, for instance, has a number of knowledge to carry out 10 people's duty, so why do we have to keep the 10? So that is why my first sentence is now that this is where my first sentence is applicable. That upskilling, reskilling is very important. So like I said, job loss, a lot of people are losing their job. To mention, a lot of people are losing their jobs, and there is income inequality as a result of that, because if you don't have a job, where is the income? Where is the source of income coming from? So there's income inequalities. Only the people, only the people and the people that are well resourced are left in the offices now. That is what is going on everywhere now. And the next thing is, I'm sorry, another economic effect is skill mismatch and wage stagnancy. Once they feel that your skill is not fitting, it's not suited in, because the truth about technology disruption is that it is changing the dimension of job. It's changing job requirements. It's changing job pattern. What used to be your job description yesterday is different from what is going to be your job description tomorrow. And it's still the same job title, but the description is different. So it is only those who are going higher or going after their skills, those who are adding more skills to themselves, that are going to remain in business. And this is causing a lot of inequalities, like income inequalities, causing a lot of wage stagnancy. Another thing is causing, under the economic effect, is industrial disruption. There, a lot of a lot of departments are being affected. Yeah, a lot of departments are being affected. Business departments are being affected by this. And the next one I want to talk about is the social effect. I'm sorry. So number one is job insecurity and hence IT. Yes, because the fear of, oh, what is going to happen to my job, my title tomorrow, my position tomorrow. There might be a displacement. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So the fear of job insecurity is that almost every one of us go around. We carry this burden all around, except of course you are the CEO of your company or an entrepreneur. But if you're still working under someone, the job insecurity is there for certain. And this is one of the reasons why we need to upskill. We need to reskill ourselves. Another thing is social adaptation and inclusion. You see, if you put all of this together, you will see that technological disruption is actually a big deal. It's actually a big deal. There is no two way about it. It is actually a big deal, and it's has a major effect on future work, the present work and the future work. If at present right now we are feeling it this bad, so what do you want to say tomorrow? What is going to be the results of? What is going to be its effect on our job tomorrow? So as I conclude, I would like to also say that there are two ways to this thing. Like I said, we have personal advantage from this technological disruption. We have professional advantage, and at the same time, there are some sentiments that comes with it that it's not in our favor. And this is why, again, we need to remember and also need to remind ourselves every time a need to upskill, At your place of work, if you're an entrepreneur, there is a need to upskill your employees. both ways, even as an employer and employee, there is a need to have skill. And, there are three major channels to this technological disruption. We have the AI that has taken almost everybody's job. Now, we have the digitalization and the automation. All these things are in practice. This is what is going on right now. And the most important thing right now is to know that, as I conclude, it's very important to know that. Yeah, as I conclude, it's very important to know that technology keeps evolving. It's not going to stop. It's not stopping for anyone. The car that was made 50 years ago, 50 decades ago, 10 decades ago, it's not the same kind of car we have right now, cars we have right now. Everything is changing. So it is left on us. It is our duty as employer, as employee, as entrepreneurs, it is our duties to upskill ourselves. And we need to pass this message on to everyone in order to keep the labor market. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. It was also very nice and effective presentation, especially we are facing with many disruption effective of digital transformation and technology, and you have mentioned about that. Thank you very much once more. Any question to Mr. Ms. Ronke? Professor Ronke, any question? No question? Yes, fine.